Hey people, Positive Paul here. It is Thursday, July 28th, 2022. Hope everybody's well. And one of the more frustrating issues that I go through, and this isn't just myself, it's anybody that dares jump on to the fairy tale land known as social media, wherever you may find yourself. YouTube in one sense has become worthless, but I do have a couple hundred people that do follow me, and what we all struggle with as we look for answers and trying to find the answers to our questions, we all, are influenced by individuals that come off as very well researched, very well spoken, and for some of them, they run in circles where once you start associating yourself with an individual that has been pointed out as a known disinformation agent, a social media fraud, placed specifically with one goal in mind, and that is to mislead people, you get disappointed because there will be people that here's the saying that they have in the old boy network, and it's one aw shit wipes out 10 attaboys. So in the process of this learning that we're all going through, because none of us have all the answers, and it's all by design. And the amazing part is how compartmentalized they are able to hold this whole conspiracy together. Now, again, it's these conspiracy theories are all, they're definitely they leave more questions than answers always. But back to the comment section. Now, I've left the comment section open as of lately because I see on BitChute that there's a small group that seem to get the gist of my issues concerning MK Ultra, satanic ritual abuse, these implants, but more importantly, these sad sack Satanists. There are many of us that may be sitting on the sidelines and we want to try to do something to expose evil, even if it's on a local level, but it's the big picture. And the only way we can truly accomplish this is by sharing this information and trying to surround ourselves with like-minded people, but genuine people, that if they come to find out that they were given bad information, garbage in, garbage out, they will immediately make amends concerning any statements that they may have made based off this bad information, and try to correct it, because there are individuals out there that are are suffering in a way that their lives are threatened on a daily basis. Now, recently, someone that I actually know and have spent time with stumbled upon my BitChute channel, and they only knew it was me because of my voice. Now, obviously, I have put myself out there on social media concerning who I am and what I look like. So they would have easily picked up on another video and seen that, hey, this is this guy Paul, man. We know what the heck happened to him. And I'm going to get to the whole point of this video, which is always difficult for me due to the fact that I'm attacked so heavily. But what I've been able to do, and I am almost 99% accurate on my assessment of these individuals, that I don't go looking for them. All right? They are sent to me, and then I make a determination on whether or not this individual is legitimate, and are they going to give me information that's going to help me out within my situation. Now, granted, I'm an extreme case, and this is why it's easy to spot the social media fraud that pretends to be me. And recently, someone had left a link on my BitChute channel. And I do investigate these things. A lot of times they go to the porno sites, and other times they do want maybe to share information or promote their channel, and that's fine. I think there's a place for that. We should do that if everything's on the up and up, which we know it's not, because some people we know are heavily censored. I believe I'm one of them. Now, the question I would ask is, if I'm a no consequence, right? I'm just this nobody waffling out here thinking I've got something figured out concerning these Satanists, and as it relates to what I've been stating now for quite some time, the biblical narrative is intersecting with the conspiratorial narrative. And in order to counter the reality and keep this false reality going, it takes a large army of disinformation agents, all right? Just to, put it bluntly, to mislead and confuse people. So what happens is, over the years, and I think I've actually been able to mitigate this problem on YouTube. And what they do there is they just make my channel non-existent, and no one's really allowed to comment on my channel. As of lately, I've seen some newer subscribers pop up that motivate me. I could start naming them, but they know who they are. And what happened recently on BitChute, I'll get to the point in case I'm rambling for some of you, but I go to this link, and it is this individual by the name of Owen Benjamin. Now, I've seen him on BitChute. I really haven't listened to him. And again, I don't go looking for these things, but what happened was, and I will show you in a minute, is once again, my instincts are always right. And I don't have to wait long to get the evidence concerning the legitimacy of this individual. That, face value, hey, that looks, I mean, we're talking, these people, some of them are highly trained, but they're part of the hive mind, and some of this information they convey, it's something that I don't know how they can pull this stuff out of their ass. They're well spoken, but what will happen is they'll get to a point where they go off script, and you see this anomaly occur that we like to call shape-shifting, but it's really electromagnetic distortion from the fallen DNA that gets scrambled. And it's because they actually know when they are lying. These lazy lying lizards know it. And one of the telltale signs is they will have to touch their face to try to correct whatever is going haywire inside them. So what I'm going to do real quick, and what I've been known for, is I always try to interject scripture. And now we're in Matthew 13, and this is the parable of the tares. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field, but while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat, and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed to thy field? From whence then hath it tares? He said unto them, An enemy has done this. The servants said unto him, Wilt thou that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest while you gather up the tares, ye root up the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, Gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. Now, my eyesight's not that good, so I struggle with my reading. My vision goes in and out. But the gist of this is, the tares are Satan's seed. The enmity plays a big part between this ancient bloodline war. And as it funnels down through the spirit of Cain, through Canaan, ending up with Esau, Edom, the Edomites, the inheritors of the tare technology. How's that? That's a new one. They call it Nephilim technology. How about tare technology? They are the inheritors of everything right now that's going on, and they control the ability to manipulate the way we think by, various methods of brainwashing. The top one is obviously would be the entertainment system that we all know and enjoy, at least some of us, before we figured out it was all a sham. I can't watch movies anymore. I get the predictive programming and I understand there's something to it, but it's the fact that Jesus is telling us that these tares, we have to let them be, because in order to remove them, there will be a large amount of collateral damage, meaning the wheat. We do not want to destroy what is good and pure in this world. And this is what Satan is, their end game is what they have in mind, is the destruction of all that is a pure, anything concerning God's creation that should just be looked upon in amazement. But also there's this sense of fear on how could one powerful creator do all this on their own. Now, with the wheat and the tares, we see at the very end that the wheat are going to be gathered into the barn. They're going to be brought to a location where they cannot feel the effect of being burnt, not feel the effect of how the Creator is going to deal with these tares in the end times, the latter days. And the problem becomes, people, are we allowed to identify these tares, point them out? If they have names, are we allowed to use their names? And this speaks to what we all go through on social media. If someone is a known disinformation agent, they're a lackey for Uncle Carl, George Bush, in my case, that these assholes get sent to my channel to make me look bad, mock me. Are we allowed to point them out, or are we to turn the other cheek? This is the struggle of what our instructions are on how we should conduct ourselves. Well, if you ask me, and anybody knows me by now, I am not afraid to go on the attack concerning pointing out these individuals, specifically if they're pretending to be me and they try to attach themselves to me. Now, let's go back to this comment, this link concerning Owen Benjamin. Now, this is not him, obviously, but we're going to go through this. Now, we have gone through a period where we understand Joel chapter 2, verse 28, and Acts 2, verse 17 is playing itself out concerning the pouring out of the Spirit on all flesh. But we also understand within these parameters that a lot of this information has already initially been given out by these bought, paid, groomed disinfo agents that created these conspiracy theories concerning what may or may not happen in the latter days as far as, Armageddon, doomsday. And so we all for years now been listening to these people's dreams, their visions, telling us that yes, we know about the tsunami. Yes, we know about these concentration camps. Yes, we know about the mark of the beast. On and on and on. But what happens is some of them have one characteristic, and it's when they I guess maybe in their little pea brains think that they're supposed to stick to a script, and they deviate from that, and you get this weird, what everybody wants to make a joke about, shape-shifting, which is electromagnetic distortion. Now, this is another video that was put into a link left in my comment section. And the minute I start watching this individual, he is getting all antsy. He's fidgeting. And when you see, what do we look for? It's the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and the hands that get this electromagnetic distortion, these geometric patterns. Now, when you see this, you've got to immediately ask yourself, if you are able to visually pick up on this, why? Why does this occur on some individuals and not others? Look at his eyeball, the geometric patterns, all right? But what happens is we know what they do to correct this is to have to touch theirself. Now also, with the discoloration of the skin, these straight, fine lines, this is what I'm talking about. So this is occurring, and when we point this out, we are the assholes for pointing this out, saying, what is up with this freak? who's telling us about already what Al Bielek had told us over 30 years ago about destruction on planet Earth, sometime between 2023 and 2025, where geographically everything was rearranged. All right, you got to get with the program. And what happens is this information would be used all these years later, injected into these people's so-called dreams and visions. Now, why would, what's the benefit of us pointing this out? Or we're supposed to just let people figure this out on their own. But remember, people, those of us that are on social media are a very small representation of the overall population. Everybody else is still duped into thinking that this, this system of going to work, trying to make money, take care of ourselves, our families, is open-ended. There's not going to be an end to it. Yes, we're going to go through these struggles, but, there's always someone working on the situation. But nothing gets figured out. It's just a continuation of more misery. So what happens is, some of us that live through these conspiracy theories, and in particular, this Snuffleupagus, this blowhard, Uncle Carl's lackey, Trump, Kissinger's lackey, telling us that, the 66,000 indictments, rounding up the pedophiles, the white hats, the patriots. These goofballs that are nowhere to be found concerning me. If I'm sitting in here with these implants, trying to do these videos, and at every turn, I'm having constantly to be disrupted, people that know I'm doing these videos, these neighborhood snitches that they don't do it much lately, but they would sit outside the window here because the house is up against the street, and they're sitting there, music blaring. But again, I'm the asshole for pointing this out. Pointing out these people, that very few of these individuals, there's none left. Nobody's able to do this. What they keep doing is they go back to these Hollywood freaks. Yes, we can point out the air of these tares in Hollywood, these demons, these devils, these Hollywood hybrid hacks. All right? We can do that all day long. But what you need to do is go right to the source of these disinformation agents that purport their mealy-mouthed garbage about that there's these patriots trying to take down the deep state. And not a damn thing had been done. And so what? You keep hearing about these timelines, all this, okay? That there's these super soldiers, this 20 and back. To try to do these videos and not be frustrated and start freaking out, that's not me. I cannot mealy-mouth my way through this. So the parable of the wheat and the tares, this is a real issue right now, and it's still taken as a joke by the bulk, the majority of the population. So if there's only a few assholes like me left on social media that are willing to do this, all right, and not pretend that there's some asshole patriot, some asshole group called the White Hats that are trying to counter every move the deep state makes to undermine the Constitution, which, let's slow down for a moment, because see, this could be an all over the map video, and this is what they hate about me. We're to say that in God we trust. We're telling ourselves that George Washington, Ben Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Samuel Adams, The rest of them, they were all God-fearing, flawed men, but they knew something, that these eggheads over in England were no good. These rotten apples, that they needed to separate themselves from these tares. Now, did they know? Were they able to look these tares in the eye and see their slit, demon-possessed eyes? Who knows? But what do they always do? They go back to the slavery thing of these flawed white men that knew something, and maybe what they started was a good thing, but it was never meant to be, people, or we would not be going through this. Because once God has moved a hedge of protection from an individual, a group, a nation, there's no saving them. They can go through the process of thinking that they can give lip service and say, yes, look, this is what we're doing. This is how we're changing things. But you don't see the change. Now, if I'm claiming, I claim, and I can never get acknowledgement from these assholes, am I supposed to sit here and be happy about it? And not speak with emotion concerning what I know, that they've duped all of us? So let's see. This is fresh file footage from our pal James Gilligan with one of his super soldier pals, these goofballs, Tony Rodriguez. All right. Now I got it all out of focus. Let's see if we can get this back. All right. Bear with me, people. There we go. All right. Now here's one of the many disinformation agents that I'm not allowed to point out. He would remove my comments back in 2016-17 on his ESETI YouTube channel. He don't want to know me. And he keeps talking that he somehow, he's up there having these meetings with these Palladians, the Orion Council of Light. They appear to him in meditation, telling him how that, the draconian grid's getting cleaned up. All right. But you people will act. See, it's short-term memory. These people serve up their phony baloney, and then when we point it out, they move on to something else, and they know once a week or two, a month goes by, that, hey, it's we got to go back and do what we're doing, try to put food on the table. But what I'm saying is, when they serve it up, something goes haywire inside these tares, and they know it, and they start to have to touch themselves. They fidget. And you get this one effect that I call talking out of the side of your mouth. Now, who remembers Kirsten W? If any of you know, all right, the minute I have the uncanny ability that once I start really hammering home on these people, they come up either, you know what happens. They're pushing up daisies. Now, I don't get how this guy Gilligan can keep hanging around these phony baloney super soldiers. All right? Now, this guy Rodriguez is one of the most egregious ones. He's you always see him with Laura Eisenhower, and what he's doing is, because I'm in Mexico, they have to start somehow, and none of these Mexicans pay attention to anything, all right? They got no clue on whether the second coming is going to be tomorrow or 1,000 years from now, because they could care less. And that's not putting them down. It's just that if, you get left behind, all right? And this is not just them. This is, hey, South America, China. Are there these conspiracy nuts in China? What do you think would happen if they pointed out some of these individuals in their country? We already know what happens. But see, in America, where this all emanates from, these goofballs that pretend, some of them pretend to be me using my story concerning Montauk. And we're going to get back into that because guess what? August 12th is right around the corner. And we know what that means. Some of us. So, again, these tears, all right? When you see that electromagnetic distortion, pay attention what was being said prior to the action sequence of them touching their face, resetting, whether it's a hologram or whatever it is. Or is this something to do with these alternate timelines, which I'm going to get into that concerning another Montauk montage that I will do coming up. But let's continue. Now, this is what I will tell you people right now on BitChute, all you fucking assholes on BitChute that don't think I know what I'm talking about. I may not have it all figured out. I'm missing parts of this puzzle, but the main pieces, I know where they fit. And if you assholes can find me looking like this, you let me know and I will go away. I will stop making videos. You will put Positive Paul into early retirement. See, what I should be doing is, what I'm supposed to be doing is sharing scripture, sharing the gospel. But I have to spend part of my time defending myself. And knowing that there were people in my family hundreds of years ago that stood up to these asshole Satanists and they were eliminated. And it came down to George Linder in 1868 getting the hell out of Bavaria and coming to a country that he believed in, that there would have been a fresh start, that they would have found peace of mind. But boy, were they wrong. So again, my challenge, I have numerous videos with me outside in natural sunlight. You see when I do these videos inside, I'm swamped by orbs. But if you see my head looking like that, you let me know and I will go away. Now here is your pal Owen Benjamin. You take a good look. Now, what is the telltale thing that we keep talking about these asshole Freemasons, which, you know what? If these people are so upright, or they're so righteous, upstanding, care for justice, peace, truth, why cannot we find these assholes? I'm in Mexico. I look for them. Not one damn one of them will stand up and say, here I am. What they did was 2 years ago, they needed to get me on foot because when I was able to drive, okay, and my truck was working as it had been constantly sabotaged, being ran off the road, I was driving around trying not to just share my pitiful story of being a satanic ritual abuse survivor, but sharing gospel. And one day, this family rolls up, and this guy wants to buy my truck. It's just out of nowhere. And I look at his car, and it's got a Freemason sticker on it, the compass, square, all that, all right? And I said, son of a bitch. I said, look, you know what? And I said to myself, they sent this guy over here. Let's make a deal. My truck is falling apart. They keep sabotaging it. They broke the locks. It's going to get stolen. Something, let's at least try to salvage what I can and help my family out. So what they quickly did is we worked out an agreement, and this guy quickly went somewhere and coughed up $3,000 for me in the form of pesos. And, hey, I handed the keys and gave him my truck, and I've been walking ever since. When I do have money, through the kindness of donations that trickle in once in a blue moon, I take the bus. It's very easy. They have a bus system that can get me around, but I walk a lot of these places. Now, back to these Freemasons. I look for them. I can't find any here in Rosarito Beach. They meet up in Tijuana somewhere. They do have a meeting spot here somewhere in Rosarito, but and no one, look, it's just like these community watch snitches. They don't want to give up their contacts. They just want to, peek out their window and get their little benefit concerning me, because God forbid that they dare snitch on the cartel, because we know what will happen there. I've explained this. What happens when you become a little snitch and stalk the cartel and harass them? They will turn around and, you know the rest of the story, okay? So, this dopey comment perp gives me this link to this goofball Owen Benjamin. It takes all less than 2 minutes to have this happen. And again, for you assholes on social media, wherever the hell you are, because look, remember, after Facebook and YouTube outlived its usefulness, they kept us running in all directions to keep us all confused. BitChute, TikTok, Rumble, Odyssey. It's a sham. And so these people, these types rule the roost. They're the ones that get promoted. But what is your faith? What is the reliability? Yes, he talks, he's well-spoken, and he talks about a lot of things that we need to deal with head on. But when you see this, you see the brickwork in the background, everything is just looking perfect. There's no electromagnetic distortion except on the tear. But we're not allowed to point this out. And none of you whatever, when I looked at this video a couple days ago, there was already 30,000 plus views. None of these assholes would say, hey, what happened to you, man? Why, in the comment section, you don't see it. Because what? All these views, they probably don't exist. Is it sinking in yet? Getting through your thick heads? Look at the geometric pattern on his forehead, you goofball. What did this guy looking like he's Sasquatch all of a sudden. Now I'm losing my voice. Now, this guy right here, I'm telling you what, man. This I just dug up today. And I always knew that there's something not right about this screwball. And again, it popped up in my YouTube feed. And of course, like a dummy, I have to click on this to see this. Now, I want someone to explain to me, some Hollywood hybrid hack producer that knows about special effects. What happened to this guy? Now, when he's speaking, he's holding up a coffee cup, and he jokes about, oh, well, you can't see it. But if you watch the video, this occurs about 3 or 4 more times before he can correct it. Now, either I'm the asshole that doesn't understand how this digital transfer works amongst the video camera, and when it records the individual being filmed. Maybe I'm just the asshole that doesn't get it, because hey, I'm not that technologically savvy. All right, I'm still using an 8-year-old cracked chitty chitty bang iPad to do my videos. And at any given moment, they can be disrupted. And if anybody watched my YouTube videos going back to 2017, 18, they're always getting cut short. But the one thing that's always in that video is these little, what I call alien insectoids. You don't see them. I can, over the course of years, I've seen them pop up in other individuals' videos, but they cannot tie any of what they're talking about to the fact that they were abused as a kid, put through MK Ultra, satanic ritual abuse. There is this It's like the bridge too far over on Remagen, that they just don't want to go there because they know they will be, well, I guess, chewed into a million little pieces by these useless, nameless, faceless, dopey comment perps that are assigned to these individuals' cases to discredit them, make them look like the tinfoil hat wearing goofballs that they are. Are you serious? Now, what is this guy? All right? Is this a tear with this holographic technology failing? Or is this some technological glitch in the equipment that he's using? Anybody out there explain this to me, because I'm not smart enough to figure this out. What in the hell is going on here? That's supposed to be a coffee mug, people. Where's his shoulder? And what the hell? Look at the reflection in his glasses. What? Okay. See, the iPad's not working now. Okay, what is this fucking guy, Houdini? Huh? Come on now. And then there you go. It's this green right here. I'm going to get back to this. All right. Now, I tell you what. I'm going to cut this short right here because I'm getting out of hand. But, 5 charged variously with stalking, harassing, and spying on U.S. residents on behalf of the People's Republic of China. How can you take these people seriously when they're still now, 7 years later, having to cover up what was done to me as a child? Having to see these people that were part of my life abandon me, these Marines, 2nd Battalion, 5th Marines, Com Platoon, 1985 through 1989. Every one of these assholes except Haro, when I told them about MKUltra, mocked me. I told them about the stalking. They think it's a joke because I guarantee you more than half of them, they're you-know-what. And they're all, you see them on Facebook, all right? Oh, they're taking trips to Costa Rica. They're joking about Biden, but they don't know shit that they've been part of the biggest Ponzi scheme known to the human race, which is the elimination of God's people. And yes, it's a very small group at this point. So these assholes that have all this technology, but they can't stop these migrants that are being purposely let in to replace the white people that were killed off because when they went to work and stood up against their boss, who had them possibly working in unsafe working conditions, giving them lousy pay, not allowing them to be able to improve their lives constantly. Oh, okay, yeah. These, what would they do? You get these reviews, right? In order to get promoted, you have to have these reviews. And if, you point out to the boss that, hey, look, why do we keep working in these unsafe conditions? What's your chances of getting a good review? Now, do you know when you point these assholes out in government, the bureaucracy, do you know what happens to them? They move them to another department and promote them. They give them promotion for being these lazy lying lizards that were only put in place because they're good yes men. They are fully dialed into the hive mind mentality. Now, let's slow down. And I want to get back to the fact that we keep hearing about how tens of thousands of migrants are crossing the border on a daily basis. And if these people truly need help. They're leaving oppression, poverty, but they're coming to one location. They're not going to fucking China. They're not going to Peru. They're not going to France. They're coming to a location that presents themselves as this bastion of freedom. Oh, don't worry. See, we've got rid of all the people. We've got rid of all the wheat. We've successfully eliminated the wheat because they were pointing out the error of our way, our ungodly behavior, pointing out the fact that the godly conversation left America a long time ago and was replaced with this garbage spewing out of Hollywood through, just take your pick, all right? It goes on and on, whether it's the dopey comedian or the dopey rock band with the music that some of us can't let go. And look, I'm guilty too, people, all right? I am guilty as charged, but you don't see me including music in my videos, do you? Now, I play my guitar because that's the only thing I got left, and it helps me unwind. It helps me, it's difficult. To create music is difficult. To recreate music of others is difficult, and it keeps your brain working. But again, all this music mocking God, I could just see how. All right, I'm gonna quit now because I'm going off the rails, and this is what I don't enjoy. I wish, again, I could be, all pie in the sky, kumbaya. They say there's a pie up in the sky waiting for me when I die, but they never seem to hear you when you cry.